So October is nearly over, and that means it's time for me to make a TBR video for November of the books that I'm going to be reading through November. The first book that I plan to be reading this November actually comes out in November. I believe it's November 12th. It's called The Lost Colony by A.G. Riddle. It's actually a trilogy called The Long Winter Trilogy. It's the conclusion of this trilogy that he's been releasing throughout this year. All 3 books are actually being published this year. I read the first 2 last week or the week before. I read them both in the same week. Very, very good. Incredibly good. Way better than I expected them to be. I don't want to give any spoilers, but they're probably going to be on my end of the year great favorite books this year list. And I'm very much looking forward to the conclusion of this trilogy. I hope he doesn't screw it up, because both of the first 2 books I thought were 5-star books, and so I'm really looking forward to that. The next book I want to finish this November, I've actually already started. It's called Smoke by Dan Vyleta, and it was just a book that I was looking through the ARCs that are available to request on NetGalley, and the sequel to Smoke, which I believe is called Soot, is coming out next year. And I thought the premise kind of seemed interesting, so I picked up Smoke at my library. And it's an interesting book. I don't want to dive too deep into it, but it's essentially a book that's kind of like an alternate universe where your sins are visibly manifested in smoke that comes off your body. So if you think something wrong, or if you do something wrong, you act in anger, smoke visibly comes off your body, and it's a society that's kind of built around the social implications on what would happen if you might be able to control that and hide your sin. Another book that I'd like to get through this next month came out just recently. It is called Bad Memory by Lisa Gray. And this book is the sequel. It's the second book in the Jessica Shaw series, which just started, I believe, last year. I read the first book, which was called Thin Air. Yes, it was called Thin Air, also this year, and it's kind of like a detective. She's a private investigator who goes around the country, kind of just freelances gigs wherever she happens to be able to find work. And I thought the first one was really interesting and good. I gave it 3 stars, but it was a positive 3-star rating, and I want to see kind of where the series goes from there, and that book just released, so I'm looking forward to that. The next book I'd like to finish this month is The Eye of the World. I feel like everywhere I look online, and also with my friends in real life, people are talking about the Wheel of Time series. I'd never even heard about the series. Like I said in my previous video, I am just now kind of getting back into reading after not reading for a long time, but these books have been around for forever, and I didn't know about them. So I'm starting the Wheel of Time, and I would like to finish that this month. I'm excited because I've heard so many good things, but I know nothing about it, and I'm trying to remain as dark as possible going in so that I don't have anything spoiled, and I like to be surprised constantly. Once I start reading a book synopsis, if it sounds interesting to me, I won't even finish reading the synopsis, because I really like just going into books not knowing as much as possible. Frankly, if someone were able to just completely know my tastes and say, you will like this book, I'm not telling you anything about it, I'm fine with that. As long as I know that I'm going to like it, I want to know as little about it as possible. So I'm really looking forward to getting into this Wheel of Time series everybody's talking about. The other books I'd like to finish in November are some other books that I've been kind of chewing on for a while. The first of them is called Church History in Plain Language by Bruce Shelley, and that is kind of a general survey of church history from, the time of the apostles to now, and kind of the different overarching doctrines and methods of the church throughout that time period, because church history is something that I'm not as familiar with as I should be. I feel like it's something that I should responsibly understand, especially as someone who is a Protestant who, kind of disregards a lot of the things that were decided through church history that led to the Catholic Church. I think it's, important that I kind of know the reasons why I don't adhere to some of this stuff, at least try to understand what was going on in the minds of these people, and kind of maybe try to decipher in my own mind where it went wrong. And then the final book that I'm planning on trying to finish in November is a book I'm actually doing a group read on with a bunch of people on Facebook, and that's called Basic Bible Interpretation by Roy B. Zuck, and it's just kind of a general So far, pretty simplistic, I think, overview on ways to interpret the Bible according to the historical grammatical hermeneutic of interpretation. So yeah, that's what I'm planning on getting to this month. I'm excited about it. I'm going to try to post vlogs as far as my progress on these books, and then also I want to post some individual videos on some of the books that I want to highlight, potentially like a review style thing. And then also there's some books, as we're nearing the end of the year, there's some books that I read this year that I want to really deep dive and focus on some videos on. I'm going to be working on those as well. As we approach November, what are you guys looking forward to reading? Do any of the books that I mentioned, are they something that you've read, or are they something that sounds interesting? What are you kind of looking for your November TBRs? I feel like as we kind of get to know each other and I start getting involved with more and more people, we will be able to kind of start finding books and ideas and concepts that we have in common, be able to share book recommendations in a better and more effective way. That'll be really cool. I will say that this is my second book doing BookTube, and the first video that I did, it got a very positive response. I was very just like extremely blessed with the fact that, you know, I posted my first BookTube video and it got a bunch of interactions from people, and it actually did pretty well. I'm not used to this, and so I'm really happy and excited and blessed by the fact that this BookTube community, especially among these channels that I've interacted with already, seems really positive and encouraging, and it's really cool, and I'm looking forward to continue to interact with you people. So thank you guys for that. Thank you for the people that have already interacted with the channel. If you'd like to continue to follow me on this journey, please hit that subscribe button, hit the bell, and you'll get notifications when I post new videos. I'm having a lot of fun with this so far, and I hope to continue to do so for a really long time. So until the next video, see you guys.